Uh, did the heroes tell? Apparently so. I guess we're on. Hello, looks like they just started. Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the ALTTPR League. We have ourselves another Link to the Past Randomizer Open League Season 4 playoffs. This is the Desert Palace Division Finals between Bottles on Empty and Missing Two Bows. We've got ourselves ninjembro and Houston Lava. Apologies, everyone, for the late start. We had some tech issues. I'm to start with me on Comms' Barnage. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing alright this morning. Just trying to get up to speed here. It appears we've got a hammer and a sword already, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, well, they started with a sword since this is Invrosia, which means that. But that hammer turned up somewhere we did not see while we were figuring out the technical problems. So let me go dig it up, because I come to Invrosia just the other day, but I've since forgotten what that mode is. Invrosia is inverted. A short sword. Bosses have items guaranteed. It's boss key sanity, defeat Ganon, and 100% inventory, so the inverted variant of Ambrosia, which is perhaps a bit more familiar as a mode.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't follow any of that. Just kidding.
It's inverted, it's boss key sanity, let's go from there. Just boss key. Just, big key sanity, I suppose. Just big keys, not the other things, just big keys.
Yes, indeed. So, also of note, the Ganon's Tower big key is not shuffled out of its dungeon, so that will not be something that they need to hunt for.
Nope, but the others are, they have a blue mail in the front of Skullwoods.
And that should be... oh no, I guess they have one more item, right? Because the big keys are shuffled.
Yeah,
and it's a pearl.
So that is definitely an item, yes.
So ninjembro taking a quick death warp, but that's going to send him back to the pit. Oh, I guess he's just farming some bombs. Pretty smart.
Yeah, that's sensible.
Alright. So, I imagine next play here is going to be head down to Village of Outcasts, sweep that out, because in classic inverted form, you just really don't have a lot of access early.
Nope. Quick glance at their VODs. Hammer was in Link's house and they both immediately saved quit to Dark Sanctuary to get up here. And that's about where they were when they started this restream.
Seems pretty good. I see that they're both...
Also, map check was Red Crystal Thieves, Green Pendant Pod, and Pendant Swamp. Everything else is crystals.
I've just coming off of cross keys, so I'm like, that's like an overload of information for me. I'm not used to figuring out what the dungeons are until like an hour in.
Oh, I'm sure. Shield in the front of Thieves.
I also see from C-shaped hut they managed to get a big 20, which in this mode actually matters a little bit because they need to get that $20 to play the arrow game for more money. Assuming that, you know, the seed is as light on rupees as most seeds are.
Yep. And I think that about catches us up as far as what we missed at the very beginning of the restream.
Yep, I think we're good.
Blue mail and ice early find it inverted. Hammer even better. Nice contrast from the last Invrosia seed I commentated. The hammer didn't turn up till an hour 45.
Yeah, this is way better than that. Just objectively. Alright, so ninjembro taking his death warp out of the dungeon. Picking up $100, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, nice little bit of early money to start the seed off.
Get a little time sink. Shout outs to Tolly.
Shoutouts also to our runners, Ninjembro and Houston Baba, to my co-com Burnage, and to our tracker, Structural Mike, who's doing his second tracking of the day. As you get just some more money in the chess game.
That's that's too early for me to wake up, so definitely big shoutouts to Mike. Alright, so we're headed to the bomb hut, presumably then down to aero game and race game.
Ooh, big key to Turtle Rock. That is required.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, being a crystal. It won't be helpful for right now, but they'll eventually need it.
And ninjembro hoping to dig up some money here in addition to whatever item. No, whatever item he might dig up. And it's an ice rod under the...
Okay. Speaking of TR with that big key, well, there's the ice rod on Dick Game.
Yeah, and that Turtle Rock is a lot easier to get to than it is in, standard play. So we might be seeing that sooner rather than later. They just need some access up the mountain first, and they'll be in the Dark Death Mountain with access straight over to the to Turtle Rock. They're not necessarily to get in until they get some medallions and a cane, obviously.
Yeah, well, it depends, because one of the quirks of Inverted is you can't access Turtle Rock without the medallion necessarily, with that mirror they just found in late Death Mountain access.
Topically relevant. So yeah, that mirror is a huge find. I mean, Houston's going to be right behind ninjembro to get it. And
that is an excellent find in Inverted.
Yeah, that will give them the, with the pearl they have, as soon as they can get a portal access, it should give them access to the to do that backdoor Turtle Rock play that you mentioned.
Hype Cave has both boomerangs, and that's about it. Okay.
Hey, on 3 hearts, that's pretty hype. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's not the worst, and it's also just funny that the only things in Hype Cave were the 2 boomerangs. 1 or 2 out of 10, maybe? Depending on how much you value the boomerangs. Not the greatest Hype Cave ever. So there's not many checks available.
He just likes boomerangs, man. I mean, just leave him alone. He's in a cave by himself, the whole season. We'll never see him again. Only we took away his boomerangs to keep him company.
Alright, Pyramid Ledge now for Ninjembro. I didn't expect this to chain into Pod. We don't have a lot available right now. Inverted being a much more closed-off open early world compared to... Inverted being much more closed-off compared to our regular late world starts. And this one's no exception.
This is interesting. Where's Baba going?
That is an excellent question. I don't know. Gonna check Bumper Ledge for sure, but I'm not sure where besides that. Doesn't have a glove to get to the mountain. What is that a red rupee?
Those are boots.
Ooh, okay, I was like, that looks funny, and it's red. I have no idea if Baba has his hammer, I'll be honest.
I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay, but boots on Bumper Ledge is gonna be something they want to get sooner rather than later. Okay, dropping back down to Skull Woods, where the pinball chest... Unfortunately, we know this ain't it. They've already found 2 items. Perhaps Baba forgetting that it is in Rosia, because they found both the Moon Pearl and Blue Mail in the front of Skull Woods, so the last item has to be on Moth, since this is, well, in Rosia.
Oh no,
he for Baba, he does not have that hammer.
He does not have that hammer. Is this a Stoops Link's house incident that we have going on here?
I think so.
It's literally labeled on the tracker as Stoops Link's house. That's not me making fun of the runner. So
that's kind of funny, actually. But yes, Bubba has apparently forgotten Link's house. And
Those
that's a
racing
little...
nerves. Those racing nerves sometimes get to you. It is a-okay. And a
Ooh,
glove.
that's a glove in the front of Pod. So the back is logically bow-locked, but that's a really good find.
And that also gives that mountain access we were just talking about. And a mushroom.
Mountain access not yet because they don't have the ability to. They don't have a lamp, but they do have light world access with that glove and hammer. And
Oh,
Moon
good
Girl.
point. Good point. Yeah, so they have mountain access, but not logical mountain access. I'm confident in both of these runners' abilities to travel through dark rooms.
Yeah. Where was the shovel? I didn't quite catch it.
Do we have a shovel?
I thought someone mentioned a shovel. That's why I got confused. Never mind.
I think we're good.
Okay, Red Crystal Desert and Pendant Eastern. No, Red Crystal Hera. Sorry. Whoops. All right, Bubba, please. Okay, there we go. This is in fact Ambrosia. We had some technical issues, so the layout is not entirely correct. The runner names, team names, and the volunteer team is, though, at least.
And we've seen ninjembro exploiting one of the features of Inverted, which is that all of the annoying mirror caves are just open.
Yep. Gonna head
Just
straight for
there.
Kakariko here. Makes sense. Just as checked into in Inverted as in regular modes. I think that's more previous than that.
Someone needs to update Nightbot. Ambrosia, I guess Ambrosia as a mode is a hot new mode, but Inverted is not new. Inverted's been around. I'm actually coming back to the game
Is
after
that a
having.
bow on the library?
I couldn't see. I thought it was mitts.
It is a major item. I'm just not sure what major item that was. Mirror Bonk here. Whoops, trying to get the Smith. This is in Inverted. There are very, very few things that actually hard require the emits.
Yes.
One of them is King's Tomb. The last Ambrosia seed I commentated, I mentioned that the hammer was an hour 45. It was King's Tomb.
Oh no.
They had to do Aga Tower. Emits were someplace stupid, really stupid as well. I think the front of TR or something ridiculous. It was a horrendous seed. 2:14 was the finish time.
I mean, this one seems to be a lot friendlier.
Much friendlier. That's a great big heat to thieves on the Smiths. You might need to update that command, Dendrasi. Hammer Packs here again is also free in Inverted. Yeah, with the hammer, of course. A little slow without boots, but oh well.
Yeah, you'll take what you can get. I expect we'll probably see with Thieves Town being that red crystal. Ooh, another big key to.
It's a swamp. That's Pendant Swamp's big key, not really what you want to find.
Yeah, we could hope for a little bit more, but I expect that we'll see ninjembro after clearing out CAC. Maybe headed back into Thieves Town and finish that out.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of reason not to, other than the 3 hearts situation. Yeah. Meanwhile, Baba is farming some hearts. Oh, farming money. He needs some money. He did not, I guess, continue the dig game after finding his ice rod, and then is now short on money for Pod.
Yeah, which is unfortunate since he needs the glove out of there. Bombs in the chicken hut, okay. Just one rupee off the guard here. That's an ouch.
Yeah, that's a real tough one, especially if you don't have the knowledge or the knowledge of the arrow game, or like how to game it properly so that you consistently get money. This is going to be a big problem for Baba.
Yeah, well, that's a death. I'd probably head back over towards the dig game in archery at this point. Yeah, well, here has the Master Sword for ninjembro. Some more money, and some more money. And
Just
also I
like
did double check.
taunting Baba here with the the other runner on the other side, like being super rich.
Yeah. Also I double checked Ninjembro's VOD just to be sure he does in fact know of those boots on Bumper Ledge, since Baba had to backtrack for that check.
I
Part of
don't
the
think that
things he
was.
missed
I don't think that was an
early.
intentional check. I think that was just like he was a little bit flustered and lost because of that missing hammer. But
Oh,
he
yeah,
does
that
have that
too.
knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, just confirming that they both knew of those boots, just to be sure, since that was part of the things we missed at the very beginning of this. See, there's a lamp in Blind's hut.
Nice. Now we have logical mountain access.
Yep.
Bottle merchant just with some bombs. And now we're basically done with CAC except for Sick Kid.
And double checking Ninjembro's VOD, that was in fact a bow on the library.
Very nice. All right, so we've got all the knowledge. So we have.
And where was the bottom? While I'm thinking about it.
I think the bottle was somewhere in CAC. I think it may have been in Well, maybe in Blind's hut.
All right, thanks. Just checking since I managed to miss that one. Back at Thieves now.
And as predicted, Ninjembro heading into Thieves Town, gonna polish that up. A little more confidence with the fourth heart and blue mail.
We've had some tech issues today, unfortunately, which is why the overlay is a bit out of date. Don't mind us on that front. Also has a shroom from CAC. Good point catch, which I missed as well. We'll see shortly.
Oh, he got that shroom from, I think he got that from Palace of Darkness.
Okay, that's... Oh, I thought... Yeah, right, you mentioned it. I thought I mixed up the shovel, apparently, so my brain decided to do. Oopsies. I think that was Steltos, then? Yeah.
Yeah, so Baba is clearly lacking the mode knowledge of the importance of the archery game. And
unfortunately, it seems, yes. For context, that's just south of the village of Outcasts. It is a very convenient grind spot if you know the strat, which is not exceptionally hard, you just need to know how to do it.
Yeah, you basically just stand to the left of the dude and fire up. Oh, you
Fire
have
up
when to fire up. Yeah.
Fire up at when one of the little puppet thingamajigs goes past.
Yep.
Targets.
It's the I think it's like the second or third like dark line. As soon as it hits it, you're pretty good to fire.
Something like that.
Yeah, I haven't played this mode extensively, but yeah, the arrow game used to be something that no one cared about, and then suddenly this mode came out and everyone did.
Yep. Because this mode made inverted a lot more common than it used to be.
Yeah, yes indeed. People have really liked both Ambrosia and Inbrosia as modes, so you know, good job for the community to put these kind of things together. As Ninjembro picks up another shield.
Okay, not really what he bothered to find there.
Ninjembro has a key, but I guess he has all the items. Otherwise, I don't see a reason why he would skip Big Chest. I'll just assume that's the case if he gets a compass or map off of Blind here.
Well, he can't get the compass or map off Blind. It's Ambrosia.
Oh, good point. Then
I assume he was counting.
I mean, what item could be in that big chest then that he would skip?
Map or compass?
Oh, okay. Oh, right. The boss has an item by default. Right.
Yes.
You can game that knowledge. Clearly, I am an expert of this mode and qualified to come.
You're okay. I'm fairly clueless on inverted, but I learned a lot during the last Inversion seed I commentated, since we learned a lot of the quirks of inverted logic due to how 1 hour 45 hammer on King's Doom was a real behind mids in the front of TR was a great crash course in inverted logic.
All right, real tense moment for Baba. Okay, he made it through the enemies, and he has effectively taught us to count to 110 by 1. So, thank you, Houston Baba.
Yeah, as we see last with your ninjembro.
And that took some dedication. I mean, discovering the stun prize was a single rupee, deciding that, I've got a spot up here with a lot of grass by the Dark Witch's hut that I'm going to farm, plus the enemies for one at a time. I mean, he did it. We're moving on.
Yep. But that cost him, I don't know, 10 minutes?
Mm, a little less, but yeah, it's pretty close. That's a big loss.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because not everyone will know the really modes like inversion, and this is case of that. That's a big key on Lumberjack Ledge. Oh no.
That's awful. I hate everything about that.
Yeah, that's not great.
So we need those boots from Bumper Cave, which is in the light world that you need to climb and you still need a cape for, but you also need the mirror so that you can go back to the dark world, because this is the fun and interesting mode.
Yeah, and there's a very good chance that is one of our required. There's a decent chance it's one of our required big keys, since we've already seen the swamp big key, one of the most useless ones in the game.
Yeah, probability dictates that it is likely. I mean, let's think about it. So it could be the Eastern one, which we don't need. It could be the Skullwoods one, which we don't necessarily need.
Skullwoods and Ice are questionable. Eastern and Pod, you hope you don't find them, but the others, it's like a 50% chance right now, I think, of that being a record. Not quite 50, a little less of that being the record big key.
See, the real mean thing is if it is one of those garbage keys, but you need an item from there.
Yeah, I think you still have, even if you don't know which big key it is, so you have to think about that. In this situation, you can't just ignore that possibility. Maybe not rush Agga for that big key, especially if you're missing a bunch of others, but you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I imagine if things get thin, you just go for it.
Yeah, they are only missing 2 hard-record big keys, Myra and Desert. Unfortunately, well, that's 2 more than you'd like.
And I don't believe Ninjembro checked this yet. He got his. So Baba got his big key to Ice Palace, thus thinning out the garbage key field even further, and
That's not good.
pushing us even more towards an Agaseed.
Yep.
And he's gonna head into Hyrule Castle, which is all new checks, so we'll get to double up on our seed knowledge.
Yep. Ninjembro heading over that way as well. Taking a route we don't normally see outside of Inverted, since usually you just save quit to Link's house to get here.
I very, very frequently that screen exists. Forget that screen exists.
So I forgot it existed. Yeah, I used to forget it existed until I saw Ambrosia earlier this week. There's Ether in front of Escape. The disaster Ambrosia was a great crash course in everything that couldn't go wrong with Inverted. There's the big key to Ice for Ninjembro, who is probably not amused with that.
Yeah, those bad seeds are always a great source of big brain time for all the things you don't want to do ever.
Yeah, it was one of Reliable R Traces versus Blue Balls United on SG main. If someone wants to look up the VOD later, highly recommend for being a truly miserable seed. Back on topic though, not much in the second chest of Escape.
That Ether Medallion could be handy now that we do have Logical Mountain access for potentially accessing Turtle Rock. Or the Turtle Rock. I guess you need the mitt still to lift that rock. Correct? Because otherwise we would need a way to get to the right side of the mountain, which we
We
don't
have a
currently
way
have.
to the right side of the mountain. We have mirror and hammer.
Gotcha. Yes, we do. Okay. All right, so Hughes and Baba headed for Dark Cross.
Hera Big and Zelda's cell is not what you wanted to see.
We
Oh, wait,
now
we don't
have
have
black.
okay. They don't have License Light World East Death Mountain. No, for missing Hook Shutter Mitts for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I might be losing track a little bit. I have a hard time visualizing the map and inverted at times.
Right, because you can go to the portal on Dark Death Mountain on the left side, but then you have no way to the right side, and then you would have no way to mirror back. So
yeah, thank you for the correction. Yeah, Bicky to Hera and Zelda cell, that's not a good sign of the odds of that Bicky on Lumberjack Ledge being required is going up by them. With every new Bicky, we find that's not Mire or Desert.
But hey, at least we know we're only a otherwise garbage cape away from getting the boots and the bow.
I suppose.
The cape might even be welcome at this point. I mean, Baba's still on 3. Ninjembro is not doing much better on heart count.
4 hearts, blue mail. Not ideal, especially in inverted, as we get some bombs in the dam. Yeah, we're currently missing 5 big keys, 2 of which are hard required, 3 of which we really don't want to see. This being Eastern Pod and Skullwoods. Another bottle underwater, not really interesting. Thanks. Nice safety, but that's about it.
So yeah, we have another instance of Ninjembro chasing Baba through South Shore, and Baba is behind on Ninjembro. Basically, an entire Kakariko check and the back of Thieves Town.
Pretty much. It needs. Oh, Commentator's Curse takes a death to the mini Mulderms here. It has a fairy in a bottle, luckily. I think that might have been the underwater heart piece, actually. Convenient! Ooh, taking a fall. No ranged weapons can make mini Mulderm Cave kind of rough.
I like the sprite thing there where the fairy just revived the word KO and turned it back into a person.
Yeah, nice heart container plus a cane. You'll take that.
Yep. So we're getting I don't know, I haven't played a whole lot of Inversia, but like this is really feeling like it's wanting them to get into Turtle Rock as soon as they have access. Like as soon as I get that access, I'm going.
I think so. Okay, they do. I guess Baba didn't think of Ice Rod, I suppose, for the mini Moldorms. Gonna head north now. They just got Samaria.
Right, so
Ice Rod Cave now for Ninjembro. Baba's heading for CAC. We'll
yeah,
get all of the items there.
I like this play by both runners. If you're Baba, you know you're behind. You want to hunt some item density and possibly catch back up. If you're Ninjembro, you just don't want to strand this location.
Yep. Yeah, Ice Rod Cave is an easily missable check if you decide to rush density and leave, I don't know, your hammer in some seats today. Just a heart piece, so that could have been, say, Cape.
Yep. Alright, so Ninjembro, he's a little short on money. But only 20. I feel like he should have lifted that rock if he wanted Zora money, which I think is the only real reason that you'd want to come down this way.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, ninjembro up to 483 rupees, which is useful.
We're gonna see a Zora check. Or, I'm sorry, a Hylia Island check.
Oh, there's Vera Shield. Not gonna bother with that. That's Baba setting up a fake powder, by the way.
Yeah, but those 3 shields early is also screaming laser bridge.
Yeah, it is. Which isn't a good thing.
So Baba gets his big key to thieves. We'll probably see him head in there, similar to ninjembro. And ooh, this is interesting. Baba has fake powder access.
Yes, I was just talking about that because he was using up all his magic on the ice rod at the heading into the smith house.
Very nice. Well, let's see. This would be a big payoff.
Nope.
Just a tiny payoff.
Just $20. And a correction from Schulter that in advanced logic, and laser bridges and logic, that shields for invincibility in version 32. Only if entrance shuffle. Ah, okay.
That is actually news to me because that was not the case when I stopped playing a couple of years ago before this tournament. So.
I unfortunately, the little fiddly bits of ALTTPR, invincibility items, heart containers, yada 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 logic is not one I keep track of very well. I am primarily no TR person, and there's only so much logic I can keep track of in ALTTPR. That is not one of them. There's Ninjembro Mirror Box on the way to Catfish.
He's still on 488. I feel like he's really regretting not just picking up that heavy rock right outside of Ice Rod Cave and getting $20.
Yeah. And that ain't it either, unfortunately. I was really hoping to get some money out of Waterfall Ferry, but not having much luck on that front. Just thinking about it.
This is going to be a big pain if he... Oh, he doesn't even have the bow, so he can't even really splash delete, so he can't even get the item from...
No, and I don't think... He's going to check the stun prize here.
And he will be as disappointed in it as Baba was earlier in the seed.
We're seeing stun prize borrowing 1 rupee at a time.
One rupee, all the way up to 500.
At least it was less for Ninjembro than it was for Baba's, what, 40 or something? It's still such a feels bad, though.
No, and with that account impersonation, my kids are suddenly very interested in this seed. And there's our bottle that we missed in well, so.
Yep. I am, in fact, actually an accountant in real life. There is some amount of iron here.
I mean, it's basically the same, right? Oh, here we go. Here's the farm again.
It's not even accounting, really. It's just basic math. Or, reading your screen.
Maniacal pointing out that Jembra used to teach math. Rip those kids. Oh my god. I'm dying here. Oh, we're one away. We're one away.
Okay.
Zora is guaranteed to be a scam at this point. There is no way that he has a useful item.
Oh, of course.
Oh no, get out of the water! Oh no!
Oh no, there we go.
Alright. Okay, so we've successfully and arduously reached $500. Let's see what's going on here. Single rupee on Zora would be the ultimate. I'm so hoping that.
I would die laughing if it's on there. If that's what it is.
If it's the cape, similarly, I will also die because
$50.
Zora teaching some scam accounting there.
Yeah. Negative 90% return.
Sora's cooking them books, man.
Not even picking those rupees. He's so bad with that.
He's gonna regret that later. I mean, like, why not pick those up? You just had to farm for 3 minutes single rupees off of pickles. Like, what are you doing, man? Okay, so someone asked in chat what the current score is. So, Ninjembro is representing bottles on empty, and they are currently up 2-0 on missing Tubo. So this could, in fact, be the deciding match of the series. If Ninjembro pulls this one out. Baba really wanting to pull this one out for his team to keep their hopes and dreams alive in this league playoff. And we're seeing Graveyard Ledge off of Baba, which I don't think we've seen before, but it is nothing, just some money.
So it's a bootload of nothing.
Yep. And I wonder if we're continuing this back to Eastern.
I think this looks like an Eastern play just for density, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you can get, as we were talking about earlier, you can get to the mountain, but there's not a ton to do there.
Yeah, the western side of Death Mountain doesn't have a ton available.
Yeah, you can rescue the old man, you can get that save point, which is pretty nice. You can check Spec Rock Cave, you can get the item on top of Spec Rock. You can actually... You can't get to Hera yet.
No, that requires East Death Mountain access.
Yeah.
Which they don't have.
So yeah, I guess in that context, Ninjembro is just being patient on his mountain play and seeing what he can get out of Pendant Eastern and assuming that he won't have to go back, which can be dangerous in Vroja because you know that you only have 2 items here. One of them is being on the boss and you do not have that bow yet, or the big key.
Yeah.
So Ninjembro may have got his only item from that front chest, which would be a real feel bad moment. And Houston Baba getting that knowledge of, I just had to hunt 100 single rupees, and now I have to do Aga probably, and why am I playing this game anymore?
Yeah, okay, looking it up, I was curious as to just exactly how many he needed.
EP has 4 items in
39.
Big Key Shuffle. Good point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a 39 rupee grind, by the way, from 71 to 110 for Baba and 17 rupees for Ninjembro one at a time.
Star flexing that pro accounting there.
This is literally me doing VOD reviews. Or just, well, not VOD reviews, just looking in the VODs to see how many Baba had when he started that grind.
Forensic accounting then.
Yeah.
So Ninjembro finishing up Eastern, Baba rescuing the old man who is being very cruelly forced to climb this mountain.
Yep.
In the dark.
Little pro tip: carry a bush. It's faster to carry the cape. There's a cape in the Eastern big chest.
Oh my!
Chest. That's a very good find. But fun fact: you can carry a bush because the speed at which you walk while carrying something is faster than the old man's speed, which is ridiculously slow. Apparently.
I had no idea of that one.
Let's see, Bicky on Spectral Rock. This also might be a play towards. This also might be a play towards Aga with that big key knowledge, to be fair. 10 bombs off old man.
So unless push does not make it faster. Interesting. Okay. Well,
It doesn't. Okay, I saw this much, but that's funny. Alright, in any case, let's see. Baba is going to. Where is he going? I might be lost.
he is heading down the mountain to Light World. He's gonna go, but he's gonna be disappointed because it's gonna spit out in the wrong place. I think his plan was to head down the mountain to get those boots, like in some type of weird inverted cross keys hybrid. But
Yeah, but
I don't think you can do
unfortunately,
that.
Bumper Cave and the Death Man Ascent Cave are swapped and inverted.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think we're seeing today the effects of being inexperienced with inverted here for Baba.
It's a tough mode. It is really, like, you think, because like I know the first time I played it I was like, well, I know the regular game, so like how hard could it be, right? No, it's really, really dizzying. The first time you play it is like, wait, Aga Tower's on the mountain, and I can mirror from the, like, I kept, the number of times I tried to mirror from the Dark World in my first inverted seed was like, I could not count it on both my hands. So
Yeah. There's a lot of little quirks too with inverted, which gets to be quite challenging. Okay.
so Ninjembro is gonna grab those boots.
That
And
is, I
then
think that's Quake for TR entrance, by the way.
he's probably gonna follow that up by heading straight down and grabbing that bow.
I assume
Um,
so.
so unless the Maniko had a point that, double dipping Eastern is not too unlikely here, on the basis of you had to get the cape to get that first bow.
Big key to Eastern as we get a book off Bonk Rocks. Okay.
That is not something you want to see if you're an Ninjembro. Or I mean, like, obviously he can't see it, but you know what I mean. Like, he's gonna be really disappointed when he grabs that key.
There's yeah, that's a 50% chance now that it is one of the Mire or Desert big keys up on that lumberjack ledge. Papa not going to do Aga Tower just yet. Perhaps not feeling it on Fighter Sword. Fair enough. It is in with Mountain Access. He will walk right past it. Mountain Access Glove and Glove Lamp Sword is what you need for Aga Tower and Inverted, and that's it. Let's see.
Now it looks like Ninjembro is heading up the mountain, so he's gonna get that Eastern big, and then I don't think he's gonna really get anything. Ooh, taking murder for actual death.
It feels bad. That's a fairy though from that. And what about things?
I mean, he's gonna get that Eastern Palace big, but I don't think he's gonna, like, from what I saw on Baba's side, it doesn't seem like he's going to get much else of use.
I don't think so, because he doesn't have any additional items that really unlock anything on the mountain compared to Baba. We'll see if he chooses to do Aga Tower. I think it's still maybe a little too early to go for that, what is becoming a 50-50.
I feel like you might head immediately back to Eastern, so you can do Eastern and then do the Bowlock checks in Pod. That doesn't sound awful.
Both our pendants is the only thing.
Yeah, but
it's not a bad play, no. It's just to know that those are both pendant dungeons.
Yeah. I mean, like, you got to get items where you get items. So
yeah, a desert dip might not be a terrible idea too, as well. With that book.
That's true.
And Mirror into Mire as well. We do have potential. If Ether is the Mire medallion, we do have boots to get in there. Yeah, I think desert area will probably be the next play. Is it me or is there a big key on top of Spectacle Rock? I wasn't quite sure of what that was.
There was. There is another big key up there.
Okay, so we know of most of our big. We know of 2 freestanding big keys that are currently not accessible, and we don't know of the others. He cannot check tablet or the first chest and hook. Yeah, he can check the first check and hookshot cave, but can't check tablet because you need a hookshot to get over to East Death Mountain to the ground.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the other sword that Ninjembro has is in
It's in
Thieves
the
Town
well.
here. It's in the well. I feel like Houston's been to the well.
He should have, yes.
But in any case, I know it was in the CAC area, so he should be getting that sword relatively soon.
Yeah. Okay, and him seeing the Spectacle Rock big key, I don't know, maybe pushing him towards Hacker Tower? Huh. And yeah, Baba is on Fighter Sword. I'm not sure why. I could have sworn I saw him in the well. That's unfortunate.
Ninjembro is making the Aga play. He wants that big key, which, I mean, I guess if your plan is to go dungeon crawling next, like we were talking about, like if it's the pod big key, then you want it to head over to Eastern Pod. If it's the desert big key, you want it to head over to Desert Mire. So I can see this. I don't know about doing this prior to going to East Dark Death Mountain and doing Super Bunny. That doesn't sound great.
Yeah, I mean, so it is currently, since he hasn't done Super Bunny for the Eastern Big Key there, it is a 2 in 5 chance that it is one of the Mire or Desert Big Keys. It'll be, I mean, finding Eastern Big Key would only make him more likely to do Aga, I guess, in this situation.
Yeah, but it's gonna, assuming that he ends up in the light world, if this is the pod big key, he'll be missing the Eastern big key when he heads over that way. So, like, again, this seems like, I agree with you that this seems like a little bit premature.
Yeah, it does seem a bit early. We'll have to see how, because yeah, he's not going to be able to get the Eastern Big Key for a bit since this is going to send him back down. Yeah, it is going to be a nice save quit, at least, beating Aga. The portal is quite useful and inverted, but still could be interesting.
Yeah,
yes, you can fake flipper the Lake Island item.
Yeah, I mean, the extent to which he used that portal, I think, is probably the decider here of whether or not this is a worthwhile play. But knowing that you have just a couple more items that are right here beside Aga Tower, and then you're going to warp down to Light World Hyrule Castle after this, makes me feel, especially knowing that Eastern Key is there, makes me feel kind of bad about this play.
Yeah, it does. That's 1 blue ball, by the way, while we're counting. Yeah, we're looking at progression in the Mire Desert area, seems most likely. Not much of a point today, but it's a fun thing to note in Inverted that you absolutely need a book for Desert, but you don't need a flute for Mire, because of Inverted switching which one's available with that, which one's available with which items. Another blue ball. And another blue ball. I think that's 3.
Alright, Bob is making the play. This is really good for him.
Yeah, look. Doesn't have a bow still, because that's likely him to keep in Eastern, but we'll see. And we know the big chest is not an item, unfortunately. So not gonna really make a difference.
The sooner he gets those boots, the better it's gonna be for him.
You don't need flute for Mire and Inverted, you just veer from Desert.
Alright, so let's see where Ninjembro takes this play. I mean, he's going to take it to get that big key right away. You just did it, you need the payoff.
Yep. Inverted breaks everyone's brains, I think, to some degree. I have fairly minimal inverted experience. I'm basically trying to remember what I learned from earlier this week with the other disaster. But inverted is just a very difficult mode. It sounds simple in theory, but there's a lot of little quirks that add up quickly.
Don't even get me started on if the mirror or pearl are missing for an extended period of time.
Yeah, and that big key on Lumberjack is to Meyer! Alright.
That's good for him to see because that was absolutely required. So not a whole lot of time wasted there. And way better than if he had found the pod key and was maybe shunted back towards the pod eastern area.
Alright, let's see where he goes off to now. Is sprinting with Boot. Navigating the map kind of finicky in inverted, with your safe quits being a little less useful than usual. Looks like a purple chest makes sense. Pick it up on the way over.
Purple chest. And still not doing that fake powder.
No. Well, he turned in this room earlier, he can't.
Oh, good point. Good point. Well, we know that it's nothing, so it's not hurting him, but
Yeah, he turned his shroom on somewhere. I think at least it was him turning his shroom somewhere on the way to Zora. On the way to the Zora area, I think. Generally, that time frame.
I think it was during that pickle money farm.
I think
Which is a great phrase, by the way, now that I've said it.
Pickle is indeed a fantastic phrase, and yes, that's what he turned his shroom. Since he is already right there. But yeah, let's see what purple just has. Just a red ruby.
So Ninjembro dodging a bullet there on Eastern Palace big chest.
Yeah, well, he already knew that wasn't an item since he got 2 items in the first before that. And just a heart piece on Bambo's tablet. As with other mirror lock, traditionally mirror lock checks is no longer mirror locked with inverted, screwing up your how the mirror works. Fire Rod Hera access is not quite go mode, Schultzer. We still need a desert dig. As Baba gets his cape. Yeah, we need Fire Rod, we need Hera access, which will be Hookshot or Mitts, if memory serves. We need the desert big.
Hey, a flute.
And there's, hey, flute and checkerboards. Nice. Handy find. That flute works in the reverse to what you think it might work as. So you do still have to activate the flute in the light world, but it will only warp you around the dark world in inverted. Meyer is mirror locked, but for car, you could also use mirror flute, but no, not needed.
So the main use of the flute is probably like reaching the portal at 5. And you know the portal's at 5, 4, and 3, but like everything else is pretty accessible. So like the flute does not have as much utility in inverted as it does in a typical seed.
Yeah. There's the desert small. First item is a heart piece. So there's the compass.
All right, so Baba heading over to get their boots. Blue cane from Ninjembro.
That is not the most helpful, but it is the second item in desert, so skipping the bag chest straight to the back. And I can't even go to the back right now, actually. Gonna head for my Eartho here. Gonna exit out the left side and...
Using that
Okay,
knowledge to
get a
grab some
fairy.
fairies. Yep.
That's a good knowledge here. Gonna get a fairy and then probably head from the Mire area as I get boots.
Still, we're an hour in and they're on 6 hearts, so...
Yep. And Virocar, you can in fact play Inverted Entrance Shuffle. The first inverted seed I ever commentated was an absolute mess that is known as Inverted Crosskeys Enemizer. That was a bad time.
I do not want to hear those words in the same sentence. It just sounds bad.
I feel it was last league season mystery week. Inverted Crosskeys Enemizer, as we see either for Mire is really good here. That is Mire completable. Inverted Crosskeys Enemizer. Inverted is a difficult mode, as we're seeing. Crosskeys is a really difficult mode, and Enemizer just made everything worse.
I'm just gonna, yeah, I would need to empty at least one bottle to tough my way through that mode.
The only reason that seed sub-3, I think it was like a 230 or something, if memory serves, was because it was 4 Crystal Ganon, not 7. That one just sucked. I'd never seen Inverted, and I'd never commentated Crosskeys, so I learned a lot that day. To be fair, Crosskeys does nerf Inverted a bit, but it still wasn't a fun time. It was not
Alright.
Swirless, thankfully. They might have cried if it was Swirless on top of the other things.
Oh boy. when do you go full? I mean, that's just like masochistic. Like, why would you do that to yourself? That does not sound enjoyable. So Baba picks up their bow, and they are turning in the purple chest right now.
Yep.
And probably potential to follow into desert area, but they still don't have that Mire Big, which we know they need.
Yeah, decided to not do Aga when they were on the mountain, which is unfortunate. It's perhaps waiting for a bit more equipment, or just didn't want to take the 50-50 at that point. Either way, it's fair and it makes sense, just feels bad. Also still missing that Master Sword from the well, we're not sure how. Oh, is it?
No,
They
got it.
Okay.
They got it, yep.
Alright. And that's a heart, and there's a heart piece.
So I think that Baba didn't, with the last time they were on the mountain, didn't have the big key knowledge. I think they may have got that knowledge a little out of order from when Ninjembro got it. Alright, so Ninjembro headed over to the not quite to the left side. And gonna check out these items on the right, the big chest.
Vanilla map, thanks.
And yes, Baba indeed following into desert and Mire area.
Yeah, and that was a key in big chest, as Vortex is able to check out, which means that there are items on the left side.
Alright, so we're still hunting that fire rod. The rule of fire states that it's probably back here.
Probably. Burna for Baba. Baba's not checked checkerboard yet, no. Yeah, I mean, the flute's not as impactful here with Inverted, but it is gonna be missed, it looks like, quite likely.
Yeah, I'd estimate that, I mean, Ninjembro maybe uses it once or twice. I mean, like, also, like, when's Ninjembro getting back to CAC? Like, do they even place a priority on that, depending on the item layout they get?
Oh, hey, tempered.
And so we have a tempered sword now, but not much else. Not much else of substance. We do have that item on Vitreous, which we're gonna see here. But we're looking pretty thin here in terms of what we have left. We have... Do we have logical access? I mean, we can do Spike Cave, right?
Yeah, we can. I'm fairly sure, as there's the flute for Baba, and happy 1 hour, everyone.
Hey, we made it. 1, everyone's favorite number in this seed.
Let's not see 2 hours today. I don't think we will. I don't think this seed's been quite nearly that miserable. But, well, random has been random before.
Wow, that mashing from Baba on that mirror.
Yeah. All right.
I'm jealous. I don't have that mash speed.
Yeah, tempered Vidi, not too bad. Just gonna use the cape to speed it up.
Extending with some extra slashes rather than doing spins makes sense. And Baba headed into Mire to get... They'll get their tempered sword. That's nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice, but does not have the big key off the lumberjack ledge. There's another bauble. And another crystal.
Vidi keeping a bee in his eye sounds painful.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not missing a lot of items. We definitely need the fire rod. We need a hook shot. We need the desert pig. And that's about it.
So Ninjembro's going to head to the east of Death Mountain here, and then he's going to get his eastern big. And then Pod Eastern? Like, I'm... Besides Spike Cave, which I'm not sure we've seen from either runner, I really can't think of many locations that are left.
Yeah, Ambrosia / Invrosia does tend to increase the chance of being Oops AD due to there being items on bosses. Mids may not be required unless they lock the hookshot somehow due to the fact that mids only absolutely hard lock King's Doom and inverted.
Yeah,
You can do everything else.
But
Ice Palace, you just swim over in the Dark World.
But they would matter a lot right now because it would grant East Death Mountain access.
Yeah, we don't have Light East Death Mountain, which is kind of a problem right now. That's basically what we need the hookshot for, is Light East Death Mountain.
So now where are we going to see Ninjembro go from here?
Checking the TR medallion, that's for sure. Which is Quake. We might not need Quake to know, since they can find a hookshot they can mirror from Light East Death Mountain.
And now he's gonna make that Spike Cave play.
Makes sense. And yeah, I think Pod Eastern's the most likely next play, since we don't have a lot else to do. And yes, we have seen the front of Pod, the glove, and the mushroom were in there.
And Spike Cave is not it, so off to some pendant dungeons we go.
Yep.
So I guess pretty bad sequence here would be item on Armos, leading to a pod big key, leading back to pod.
Yeah, there's still definitely some potential for trolls here. Let's see.
Have we read the pedestal yet?
No, we haven't. I was just about to mention that. The Fire Rod and Desert Big Key could both be on ped.
Yeah, with the dungeon layout the way it is, that is entirely possible.
Not something the runners want to consider, but it is a possibility. And that's Baba out of Mire.
So an item here on Armus Knights would also be damaging to Baba because they have already done the big chest, so Ninjembro has a little bit more incentive to be here.
Don't pick check that item. I thought it was useless, but it might have been me miscounting, come to think of it. And Rosha, but the big key shuffle is messing with my key item counts. Yeah. We are also logically going to need to find the flippers at some point. The runners don't care all that much, but flippers are logically required for ice.
And Ninjembro skipping that big chest. I guess item counts come into play here.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly, bringing
also
up,
heading for Eastern.
yeah, bringing up the flute, I feel like probably a good thing would have been to go activate that flute in the light world, and then flute over to 5. Though I guess you have to take the long.
It's a pretty long trip to activate that flute right now.
Yeah, getting to CAC is not trivial as it is. Light world CAC is not trivial as it is in regular modes.
No. They do actually have the ability to take the portal there, at least with Hammer and Glove.
Yeah, but still,
but
that's
it is
a long
still
walk.
slow.
Yeah.
And Shovel?
Oh my god.
Don't tell me.
Here we go.
Here we go.
If that leads to the pod big, I'm gonna quit commentary for the rest of the day. You can do this solo. Alright, so we're headed back in a pod. We're gonna do the bow locked side.
Yeah, we have already seen both non-key items in the front of pod in the form of the glove and the shroom, so there will be items in the back. Someone remind me the number of items in pod. I actually don't remember off the top of my head right now.
There are 5 in vanilla, but there should be 6 because the big key is shuffled.
Okay, that's what I thought. So we're gonna have 4 in the back. 3 in the back, and then 1 on Helmasaur.
Again, coming in with that pro counting. Love it. You love to see it.
Is it 7? Okay, someone...
Wait, 7?
I don't remember how many items pod has in vanilla regular. Although that is a fair point today. That pod is a green type. It is what I forgot. So it does lack 1 additional item if you can find that big key, but I mean it's gonna be 2 keys, map and compass, and map, compass, big key in the back. Here, anyway, heart container, small key. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Mike was counting green pen. Thank you. So, heart container was item number, and the compass. So, heart container was item number 3. Small key. There's 1 left in the back here. No, 2 left. Sorry.
They're going to be in the dark maze. Baba, I think, skipping the key for key trade in Harmless Hellway.
I think so.
I always have trouble doing that.
Hey!
Oh boy!
Hookshot!
Here we go.
Necessary.
So after
also
the
needs
bizarre...
to not die to get a map.
After the bizarre adventure we've had so far, both runners converging on the hookshot at roughly the same time.
Yep. Imagine Mimic clipping this at 10 minutes. That would have been amazing. Hilarious, Mike.
Ooh, yeah, that would have been quite a play.
Yep, and both runners immediately heading for Death Mountain. Makes sense.
You just got a ton of items over here. You now got access to Paradox Cave, you got access to Spiral Cave, you got access to Backdoor Turtle Rock, you got access to Tower of Hera. That
There's
hookshot
that
just
big key
unlocks
on Spectacle Rock.
everything. Just really
Yep.
opens it up. And so the main, I mean, after that time loss early for farming, really all we're seeing Baba behind by is the completion of Mire. Is that right?
I think so, which itself isn't the worst, but having to climb back, doing Aga is going to take him a few minutes, though.
And Aga, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, the big thing isn't getting them. Like, Mire itself going to take, it's going to be like another good couple minutes to do Aga, get the big key, then do Mire. It's not exactly the fastest thing in the world. Nothing in the first two checks of Paradox. Quake! Only have regular TR access, I guess.
Yep.
The big key to Desert!
And we're getting pretty close here.
We're missing a fire rod, and that is it. Yeah, I'd probably rate him about 5 minutes behind with the Agamire issue for Baba, which is a little bit unfortunate here at an hour 12. 5 minutes is quite a lot.
I think maybe even a little bit more with world traversal.
Yeah.
Like I think that's probably just the difference in clearing those two dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're doing Hookshot Cave. There it is. And so, Ninjembro, I was about to say make sure that Ninjembro's in Go mode, but he seems to think he is because he's not doing the rest of Hookshot Cave. So I'm just going to trust him and say that at an hour and 12 minutes, Ninjembro has reached Go mode.
Yeah, I think so. I think just
This is like the
picked up
third speed I've seen that fairy be super mean to him. just skip that fairy, man. Go get a different one.
Yeah. Yeah, Fire Rod in Hookshot Cave's first chest means that he's in Go mode. He knows he can get into TR, he'll just fake flipper off to ice. Yeah, he doesn't care. Yeah, doesn't need the Skull Woods big key, has the TR big, both rods, keen, tempered, yeah. He is in Go mode.
Alright, so we should see a pretty quick finish from here. Turtle Rock is also very, very quick.
Yeah, just need to get a small key from probably Laser Bridge and then just run straight through to Trinax. It's actually quite quick and inverted, and you don't need to run through the entire dungeon.
Yeah, I'm sure that Ninjembro was relieved to see that Fire Rod where it was so that he didn't have to hunt out Hera and Turtle Rock.
Yep. Nice. It had a very quick Hera pot, so that's that. Going to go clear TR. Ice is the slowest of our remaining dungeons at this point.
Yeah, and even that with being in Go mode and being able to do Icebreaker is going to be only maybe like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. Mimic Cave just a hurt piece for Baba, and then Ninjembro's not even gonna bother.
He does need a key here, though.
Yep. So hoping there's one on Laser Bridge. No, that isn't it. Small key in the big chest. And there's the small key for Ninjembro.
Oh no, and so Baba is here in Turtle Rock, but hasn't picked up that fire rod yet. So they're really gonna want to go back up. It looks like they're going back up. They'll probably be in Hookshot Cave after they leave Paradox here in a minute.
Yeah.
And very
And
clean
that's a pretty...
Trinex tail.
Yep, nice Trinex. Going to be the fourth crystal here for ninjembro. Giving us, oh, he'll take that heart container, I suppose.
Yeah, and so Baba is really shooting themselves in the foot here with clearing out more of Turtle Rock than they absolutely need to.
Yeah, it's unfortunate at this point. They chose to not do Aga earlier, and in a bit of a pickle at this point.
Yeah, I know that they have the big key knowledge. Like, they've been up to Lumberjack and know that there's a key there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of how you leverage that, and it seems like they're choosing to maybe ignore it and hope that it's not a required big key.
I think so, which is not quite gonna work out. I would at least check the big key on Spectacle Rock, because that's gonna give them the indication that it's probably required.
Yeah, that would be a play that they would need to make. In addition to, again, hopefully checking the Hookshot Cave, which we know they need to do.
Yeah.
And Skullwood's incoming here for ninjembro. This is going to be very quick.
Yep.
Still no Dark World Flute though. We might not ever see that activated, to be honest.
I don't think it's worth it at this point. This is in fact a best of 5 series. Bottles and Empty took games 1 and 2, and are looking to take game 3 as well, so I think this is probably going to be the end of the road, unfortunately, for missing 2 bows. Baba at least 5 minutes behind. Nice bug net on neither tablet. Yeah, Baba at least 5 minutes behind, and not likely to be able to make it up at this point.
Yeah, I mean and that lead is just in every check that Baba makes at this point is increasing ninjembro's lead.
Yeah. Very quick moth, nicely done. Giving us a red rupee and ninjembro's 5th crystal. Yeah, ninjembro probably does feel bad for the rupee farm earlier. That was comical on both runners, just the rupee farm for single green rupees. Those boomerangs in type game proving to be more useful than we thought.
Those that was definitely the highlight of the seed by far.
So those are... We have a slightly outdated layout due to some technical issues. Those were their regular season point performance. These two were first and second in the Desert Palace division. Bottles Empty going 12 and 2, missing 2 bows going 10 and 4.
Yeah,
that
this
should be
point...
reading the best of 5 indicators. It is a 2-0 series. That is going to be 3-0 soon.
Yep, and basically, like, we're just missing the graphical layout that we typically have for the playoff matches. We just noticed too soon before the start of the race that it was missing. Not a big deal. Just gotta fill in that info ourselves. But yeah, ninjembro heading over to Desert, gonna clean that up, and then just a quick hop into the lake and mirror over to Ice Palace.
And in this case, Chungus, moth can be very difficult, especially on low equipment, but ninjembro had a very, very quick moth. Well done with Tempered and Fire Rod. Also a
Yeah.
very nice Moldorm for Baba.
Yeah, the Tempered Sword making very short work of Moldorm there. Just one of those things that requires practice. I mean, it's kind of insane when you think about it, like that with the amount of practice we put in, there's still so much danger in these seeds. I mean, like between Vidi and Cold Stare especially, you still see a pretty frequent number of deaths to those bosses. And of course,
Yeah,
yeah, in Inverted, the low heart Moth and Blind added into the mix can make for a lot of boss deaths no matter how much you practice.
yeah, I kind of just think it might have also been the 2-hour 14 right inversion disaster. Involved a one runner dying twice to Moth on Fighter Sword. That was not a fun time.
Yeah, and Moth especially, it can be really mean. You just like if he just rides those spikes and just lets the dungeon traps kill you, like there's not a lot you can do.
No, the runner was doing his best, but Fighter Sword Mothula is very difficult. I think they might have had like one potion, but it was not a fun time. Very nice one cycle. Landmos had just enough magic for those fire rod shots, another heart container, and the 6th crystal. But taking a brief coffee break to get a red rupee from the Hera basement.
Do you see them grab that key from Spec Rock?
I don't remember, I'll be honest.
I don't remember seeing them do that.
Well, either.
Now we're heading into West Turtle Rock, which is going to be going through the Pokey rooms, going through the Chain Chomp room, going to the front, and just every single second spent in here is just more time being shifted over to Ninjembro's side, which is just really unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. This is sad to see when a race is this lopsided.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, Baba was closing there for a good while. I mean, like, making the right checks, making all the right plays. It's just this one mirror location that's going back to Hookshot Cave from the Light World when you may have already, marked it off because you did the boots check earlier. That just might be getting them.
Yeah, that and also the unfortunate situation with the Meyer Big Off Lumberjack is also to keep in mind. Like, even if they find the fire rod, they still have to find that Meyer Big.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much all but over, barring some major technical disaster on Ninjembro's side. But I do want to give Baba credit for. I mean, I would be, if I hunted those rupees at the beginning of the seed, I would have been in so much tilt. It would have been really difficult to pull things together, and they did.
Yeah, they've been doing very well. Just routing not quite just not their day for routing apparently. Especially for someone who I think is a bit newer to Inverted, they've been doing pretty well. This is not an easy mode.
No, it certainly isn't.
And on
And we've
that
got
note, give our runners here a follow, Ninjembro and Houston Baba, to my co-com Barnage, and to our tracker Structural Mike, and to our restreamer, Tale.
I have to learn that icebreaker setup. It seems much more consistent than what I do.
Yeah, that was pretty quickly. Oh hey, red mail. Well, that's something, I guess.
Nice traversal of that room. And we're just headed straight down, obviously ignoring all the chests, no Ringo mode.
Yep.
And then we will, from here, I guess, probably quickest would be use the portal to get into the light world, and then save and quit directly to Ganon's tower.
Yeah.
And Baba now doing the hookshot cave and is going to be real disappointed and right there.
Yeah. Oh, flippers were there. Lol.
Oh, yeah, ninjembro skipped those.
Didn't need those just to be flippered to ice, but then, well, I guess that's our logic. Thanks, game.
There we go. And so, with 7 crystals in hand, ninjembro is about to head off to Ganon's Tower, which has been conveniently relocated to Hyrule Castle.
So, with that, we do like to play a little game here. There are 22 checks in Ganon's Tower, but 21 chests and 1 torch. Put in a number between 1 and 22. Where is that big key? Gonna have to be super quick because we're right here already. I'm guessing 14. And there's a equally fast prediction. Well, it's not check number 1 or check number 2. And, going right. Ninjembro froze?
Yeah, we lost ninjembro's stream.
Oh, there he's back. I was worried for a second he accidentally discarded the delay.
That would be really bad.
Because, he is... Well, I have the race timer open. This is on 10-minute delay. But yeah, he is within like 10 minutes of finishing or so. Like, I was like, did he just discard delay? Because the timing is about right for it, unfortunately. It's not intentional, but I have seen runners do that before, and, not great. Bombos! Nothing, and nothing. Those were checks 3 through 6.
So yeah, I'm always super paranoid about discarding delay, and I mean, I know no one's watching my 10-minute delayed stream where I can't talk to them, so I just leave it running for like 20 minutes after the race. Hey,
Oh,
Silver!
hey! You'll take that!
One tiny bit of kindness from this agar-acquired seed with the pickle money farm.
I mean, they do the money farms to themselves, to be fair. That wasn't the sea, that was the runners being a little bit scatterbrained with money.
So...
Anyway, 9, 10, and 11 is the big key. Going by Price is Right rules, tick on 2K, you win with a guess of 9. Was it? No, wait, no, this is our pod big key, never mind, I keep mixing this up. Thank you, never mind, I've mixed... Goodness,
I didn't even catch
hate
that
when
either.
that happens.
I didn't even catch that either. I was just like, it's the big key. It's the one we need, obviously. Let's move on.
Okay, so keep going then. That was check number 12 in Firebar. 13 will be Fire Snake as Baba heads off to Ice Palace, and I am still a scatterbrain. Apologies on that one. It's autopilot for this. I forgot to, Jossie. I forgot to. We're also missing the Skull Woods big key. 13 is a red rupee.
Yep. That was quite a debate there, game.
Sorry. Yeah, there is one more troll big key left. I forgot. Whoopsies. Looking at the sheet, I actually know Spectral Rock is the Skullwood's big key by process of elimination. Then, so I think we're out of spate.
16 and 17. Nope.
Nope.
All the way to Ice Armus. Here we go.
Is this tile room?
Yeah, we thought the seed was being nice with that silvers. I will retract that compliment to the seed if
Yeah, no, that's a little bit. No, Ambrosia still keeps the GT big key in GT. It is the one big key that is not shuffled. And it's not check number 18 on Bob's chest.
Gonna make some pretty quick work of these ice armors here with silvers.
Very nice.
Oh, nice.
19, 20, and 21. So not quite. The reed hearing wins then with 19.
But on Baba's side, that was really nice execution of that ice room stairway clip. Nice little time save there.
Yeah, I could think it was still odd anyway, for the prediction. Yeah, Ambrosia is inverted Ambrosia with big key sanity and no boots hint.
How does the boots hint work? I do not know that, if there is a boots hint enabled.
In Ambrosia, it doesn't happen because in regular Ambrosia, the uncle gives you the hint at the beginning because it's when he, you wake up and you talk to him.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, because in regular Ambrosia is standard to keep in mind, so that text is just there used for the boots.
Gotcha. I have not played regular Ambrosia before, so.
Ah, gotcha. No worries.
Right, so we have GT climb going. Ninjembro doing some laps.
Yep. Ice Palace is fun. Still looking for that desert, for that mire big, unfortunately.
At this point, you have to wonder if they've forgotten about it. But I mean, it's Lumberjack. You don't forget about an item in Lumberjack. Like, you just are hoping to. I think he's just hoping to wave it.
It's like the Skullwinds big, I think at this point is what he's hoping it is.
Yeah. Which, if you feel like you're behind, and you feel like your only hope is that the item is in a really bad spot, I mean, not a bad play, honestly.
No.
Baba needing a little more magic, it looks like. Where's he gonna get this magic?
That is a good question.
I feel like there was a good amount of magic in the enemy drop pool. I just don't know which enemies have it. This will not regenerate the magic from those pots. No, don't mirror. I think you can get it quicker. Oh, this would be a really good time to do Cane magic recovery. Oh no.
It would, but I don't think Baba knows it. And misses the fire rod shot. Ouch.
I think that's just heartbreaking to see. That's a real tough thing to run into.
Yeah, he does have Bombos, but I think he's frazzled an hour 33 in with how everything's been.
Alright, so Ninjembro about to finish off Ganon's tower. Headed to Aga 2. Let's see how well they can execute this fight. I did not see Baba's first attempt at Icebreaker. But if it went similar to this is probably where their magic went.
Yeah, likely. There's Aka 2 down for Ninjembro.
Alright, so the Duck is going to pick him up and put him back on Hyrule Castle top. Bat's going to fly through the building, as is typical of inverted.
Yep.
And we are in the fight with the pig, which should be pretty short with the tempered sword and the silvers that were conveniently again in sour.
Yep.
Looks like he successfully got the 1-on-1. He's going to use the cape here. That should be 12 hits. Let's see how cavalier he wants to get with his magic here. It seems like he's going to choose the lamp option just to play it safe. And 0 extra teleports. Oh, he's got a potion too. He must have picked that up at some point. Gets the double, and another double should finish it. And that should be a GG for Ninjembro.
Yep, this will be them clinching the division finals here with the 3-0 series. GG's to you as well, Varnish, because you were in that team.
Oh, thank you. Well, I had
Uh,
my match yesterday, so GG's to both runners. That is the finish, and with Baba standing still, I believe that's going to be the forfeit from him.
Yep, that is a dot quit. GG's to them as well. Unfortunately, this is the end of the road for missing 2 bows. Battles on empty. Get to face the winner of Scorpion Club versus Enraging Trust. Whenever that matchup gets decided. We'll see if we can get either runner in for an interview.
Looks like Ninjembro is in the waiting room. And with the kind of seed they had, I would not be surprised if we did not see Baba in here. But
Yep.
kudos to them if they come. So Ninjembro, GG.
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 How was that one?
Oh my goodness. There was a lot going on in that seed. And to be quite honest, when I found that hook shot, I felt simultaneously good and very behind.
Yeah, I think Mike, who was doing our tracking, Structural Mike, commented on that. He's like, if he's worried about the opponent mimic clipping, then he feels awful right now.
And not even so much like, oh yeah, there were no more small keys, so you couldn't get to the back without doing right side. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Like when I found that hook shot, it was also a sigh of relief because it's 2021 and I still refuse to even try to learn how to hover, and I haven't gotten off my lazy butt and learned mortal bounce. So like the entire time I'm like, oh god, like this doesn't, like this can be a hookless seed. It didn't seem very likely. Just because like we still had no East Death Mountain access, so it's like you're either going to find the hook or you're going to find the mitts.
Yeah.
So it's like it's 50-50 on which one you find. So it didn't seem super unlikely, but that thought was still in the back of my mind, and like that was practically a last location hook shot. Like the only thing I had left with was dig spot. So I'm like, well, this is good, I guess. And then I was like, well, obviously we just take this straight to the mountain. And I almost forgot about Hookshot Cave. Like I was looking at my tracker as I was like heading up the mountain. I was like, okay, what order do I want to do this? And I was like, oh yeah, Hookshot Cave is right here. I should just mirror to it because I'm only one item from go mode. Like I just need the fire rod. And then of course, like the very first chest was the fire rod. I was like, oh cool, I still have to do 5 crystals.
But you cleared out those 5 crystals pretty quick, so that was
Yeah.
all right, especially not having to do Turtle Rock.
Yeah, they were all like super quick crystals. Like Go Mode Hera is a joke. Like going back and cleaning
TR
up
is
woods is
hilarious.
fast. TR is hilarious um in inverted when you're able to go mode it. Desert, it's just running back in, and then ice, is like the longest dungeon of all of them because like it's basically the same as normal. You just skip chests, and like part way through ice, I was kind of like, I guess I should have been checking chests just in case I find like silvers or something else. But I was at the same time, I was just like, there are so many checks out there that I haven't done that it's probably not likely.
Yeah, I feel like
So-
if you're on Master Sword, it's a different story. But if you're on Tempered,
yeah,
you
for
just know.
sure.
Yeah. So anyway, how you feeling about money? That seed.
Oh
So-
yes, buddy.
So I got. So the really funny thing is when I went over and did Ice Rod Cave, the entire way there, I'm like, okay, don't forget to lift the rock and get 20 rupees. Don't forget. And I got over there and I forgot. And then I got
Yeah.
to Zora and I'm like, thankfully I double checked like as I was entering the Zora's domain and I was like, oh crap, I need money. And I was like, well, I guess I only need like 15 rupees, so it's not fast, but I can just farm the stun prize and I can use this as an excuse to go turn in the mushroom, I guess.
So you had to
So
farm money from some pickles, and that was intriguing to watch and was funny.
your
Unfortunately,
opponent had
yeah,
a even more interesting time. I
yeah,
think this Baba is relatively new to inverted, so doesn't know the archery game. Ended up
Um,
grinding up about 40 rupees from the from the
one at a time. It was very unfortunate, but
oh,
yeah. Yeah, he spent like 5 minutes or something doing it for pod.
you being
oh no.
you being a bro and giving some of that time back with your own single rupee farm off the stun prize was just really quite the spectacle.
Like that didn't feel great, not gonna lie.
Well,
The
no, it
whole scene
doesn't
was
feel
just kind
good.
of hilarious. Like the scene was a meme.
Yeah, it very much was. So
Like I knew I was going to route like I like routing this mode Link's house into an immediate save and quit unless you find bombs. But like
Hmm.
usually if you don't find bombs, you find like 10 arrows, you find uh, a boomerang, you find 20 rupees. You don't normally just like just jump head first into a hammer. And I'm just like, I found that and I was like, oh crap, am I supposed to save and quit here? Like, should I just go straight to pod? And I was like, oh wait, I don't have pod money. Of course I still save and quit.
yeah, I mean, it took you even a while to get that first $20. I mean, like, I don't think you had that until you were in Thieves Town.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have to skip the chest game. And I was like I hate orphaning, like even more so than in regular like open 7-7. Like I know there's a lot of runners out there who are like super thorough about sphere 0 and like
Mhm.
I understand it, but I'm not one of those players.
Yeah,
Like I don't care about getting every single sphere 0 check, even though sometimes it burns me. Like I feel like more often than not, like being thorough in sphere 0 is not that great just personally, but like in inverted, I hate leaving any sphere 0 behind, especially like with it being big key shuffle. Like there are so few checks in the early game that like you're basically pigeonholed into your initial progression. So like
yep,
not having the money um for the chest game or dig game like feels really bad.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
literally the last item in Thieves Town was the bailout with the 100.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so that takes bottles on empty to 3-0. So they will be advancing to. I guess we will be advancing to the next stage of the playoffs. No matches next week, so thank you for that.
Yeah, you like maniacal. If you're watching this one back at some point, like you're welcome. Go enjoy BBT release. Like I'm jealous. You know, maybe save
Maniacal.
a bottle of it to share with me as thanks.
I did see Maniacal in chat earlier, but yeah.
Okay.
You mean thank
GG's,
you for
guys.
doing your job, ninjembro? Jeez.
I'm also just glad that I don't have to because I was going to be the game 4 runner as well, and like I'm
Yes,
just glad I get like a bye week now, just
you
with the
have.
holidays coming up. Although it would have been a good week to do it just because of like having more time off because of the holidays.
Yeah,
Um,
you've been grinding too. I mean, like you've had a lot. You've done a lot of the weeks for the regular season as well. I didn't think you had the least time off. So
yeah, and between that and SGL, like I'm ready to just only have ladder to worry about for a while.
well, we lost stream, so I'm gonna say goodbye and move on with our
we're
weekend.
still live, but yeah.
Oh, we are. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The I'm sorry.
Screen share
The
quit, yeah.
Discord stream quit. So,
Okay.
but that is a good sign that we should probably move on. So, thank you again for the race, GG's, and thank you to the whole crew, to Star, my co-com, to Structural Mike for putting in another work on tracking, and for Tala especially for getting the restream together despite the difficulties. I know that can be really stressful.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks everybody for the work that you do, and GG's again to Missing Two Bows. They had a hell of a run in the regular season, and definitely shown that they were playoff caliber.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're glad to get to 3-0, but as just like fellow runners, like you also hate to see it because you just like more rando. But
Yep.
Yep.
it's rando.
Yeah, they definitely did
GG.
not make it easy on us. So
Yeah, GG's to them on their run through the tourney. So good luck to you guys in the next round.
yep.
And
Let's see.
GG's.
Coming up ahead on the league schedule, we have at 1:40 p.m. Eastern, we have In Broadway's Trust versus Scorpion Club. That is, the winner of that gets to face Puddles and Empty. That is Hard Map Company Shuffles, and the first is Irritable Penguin. And then at 3:10, that'll be on this channel. And then at 3:10 p.m. Eastern, we've got Ipsol Foxes versus Dark Side of the Triforce, a hard randomizer seed between Chloe Prower and John Snoo on Speed Gaming Maine. And then we've got a couple more matches on the schedule throughout the week for Open League, and Invitational playoffs start tomorrow as well, if you want to check that out. Thanks to everyone for watching. Thank you to my co-com and to our runners and to our tracker and restreamer. That'll be it for us today. Thank you. See you next time.
Have a good rest of your day, guys. GG's.